Since 1969, the Livingston Area Career Center has been dedicated to providing a quality technical educational experience, developing skills for lifelong learning, and assisting career decision-making in a safe and secure environment. Our environment is both unique and exciting for students who are getting ready to move on to college or enter the workforce, and the courses are taught by instructors who are experts in their fields. We offer a wide variety of programs, college credits, and professional certification that provide students with opportunities that reach far beyond high school. If you are interested in attending a class at the LACC and are a high school junior or senior from Dwight, Flanagan, Prairie Central, Pontiac, Tri-Point, or Woodland schools, please talk to your guidance counselor today. The LACC podcast is back and ready, and today Mr. Diaz is the first guest. And he's here with us now. Mr. Diaz, welcome to the LACC podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So on the table in front of you, we have sock puppet materials. That's for you. That was one of the babies you created there.
All right. So I forgot about that I got to make a sock puppet while this thing's going. That's all right. We got it. We're good. I need some. No, this will work. All right. We're good.
We got it?
Yeah, we're
awesome.
good.
So throughout the whole podcast, he'll make a sock puppet, as you'll see, and by the end of it, he's going to give some life advice from the puppet and give it a name, and it'll go up on the wall with the rest of them, so you'll be able to see that throughout the duration of this one. So first off, I mean, you're Mr. Diaz. I think a couple of the viewers know that, but just who are you and what do you do?
So I have multiple jobs, and this is actually the second time that I've been the guest of the podcast, but this is the first time for this year, and this is like really the first official podcast. Two jobs. One, I work at a sign shop here in Pontiac, Illinois, and do sign work. We do some murals, a bunch of other things. You can check out the website, diazsignart.com. But the job we're talking about more today is being the digital media graphics instructor here at the LACC. This will be my fourth year, and it's been fun. It's been a good experience.
So going back to the digital media and graphics thought, what does that all entail, and what's really the course content of that?
So for this course, we do a little bit of a lot of different things. We start off the year with some basic computer design work. Everything's kind of done with computers. Try to keep the tech as up to date as possible, so all of our programs are really up to date. But we start the year with like basic graphic design, logo work, that kind of stuff. We go into some Photoshop and photo manipulation a little bit later, and then we go into video and some audio stuff like the podcast here. And try to cover as many different things as we can throughout the year. Digital media is kind of just like a catch-all for we're using computers to make things that people can see and hear and look at. So,
what does using the industry standard equipment and things of that nature, what does that do for the kids that are in this class? Like, what's the opportunity give them?
I hope it gives them like a baseline of, this is what you can do. None of the stuff in here is the best top of the line stuff. Like, we've got pretty decent podcast equipment. We've got pretty decent cameras. We're not a full-on studio, but it's all like intro stuff. So it's like what you would get if you went into the career. This is like the intro version of that. So if you were to actually go into a podcast career, you would have similar tools to this. They might be a little fancier. Same with designing things. Although we do have all of our programs are like the current recent programs. We use all the Adobe Suite programs, Illustrator, Photoshop, Premiere Pro are the three that we use the most often. Those are all up to date. Those are all industry standard. We also have, I think the only class at the Pontiac Township High School, and definitely the only class at the Livingston Area Career Center that has Apple computers in it. Apples are industry standard for graphic designers. So I want the students to learn how to use those types of computers, even though I personally am not a big, huge Apple fan. But I think it's very important for the students to get to learn how to use those computers. So,
Like you said, you've been in this classroom here for a couple of years now, and you've had some different things go on. Like COVID is one of the big things. You've had some different projects and whatnot you've worked on, just like the podcast and the vlogs. But what kind of what memories have stood out to you since you've started this adventure, and what makes you do what you do as far as a teacher?
So the COVID year was my first year was the year that everyone had just come back from COVID, and that was a tough year because I had to be able to teach some students remotely, and then other students we taught just as you regularly would, and that was difficult. That was a hard year, but as far as memories and like good memories. I think the first year that we did the sock puppet videos was really awesome. There's been good memories every single year. That's been one thing that's been really cool about this job is the students have all been super awesome. And I really think that I've been very lucky with the students that I've had in this class. I've had some very great experiences throughout the years. I've never really had a super bad experience with a student where I've had to, send them down to the office and you're going to get suspended. Like I've never had to yell at anybody or get too mad or anything like that. So I've had some really, really good experiences.
What do you hope that the class can gain from the experience here? Like you said, using the different programs in the Adobe suite is valuable experience. But what do you hope that the class can gain and take from this class as they move on at the end of the school year?
Well, I mean, I have some students that have gone on to college to actually do, they're pursuing a career in graphics or design. So that would be one thing. If not, and I have some students, that they're not interested in it, they're just taking the class to learn about some other things. At the very least, I want everyone to kind of have a better understanding of what this career can look like or what fields in this vein can look like. I want students to have an understanding as to what a good design looks like versus what a bad design looks like. I want them to just think a little bit more about what goes into a movie or a TV show or putting together a podcast, and all of that stuff. I want them to think a little deeper. We have a good discussion. We haven't had it yet in this class this year, but we have a really good discussion about Photoshop and how that can be used in different ways. Some of them less than truthfully, I guess. And what that can look like, and think about that a little bit, because there's some real problems with people using Photoshop and using photo manipulation and video manipulation too to be untruthful. And I want students to realize what that can look like too. So I try to cover a lot of stuff. Hopefully, some of it sticks.
Yeah, I would say, even thus far into the year, we're only in September, but we've still covered a lot of content and a lot of valuable things that, you couldn't even have thought of outside of this class. And so far, so good, I think, on your goal there.
Yeah, this year we really hit the ground running. We kind of started off at the very beginning of the year. We are working on the Vogue, which is the LACC school newspaper. We've also been doing the sports banners for seniors for the school. So we really, at the very beginning of this year, were like, all right, day one, we're going. Like we're going to hit the ground running. So that was been kind of cool.
Quite literally. We started with Photoshop day one, came in and
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Mr. Diaz, and here's Photoshop. Let's start on some banners. But
Yeah.
so typically, question 6 is where we're at now. Usually, that's from the viewers. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can leave a comment down below, and we'll get your question in, hopefully, to one of our podcasts for one of our future guests. And until we find somewhere else to put the podcast, that's where it's going to be. So you can find comments there, put some in, and we'll get it on the next podcast and get your opinions and your thoughts to our next guest as well.
To add to that, it would be great if you're viewing this to become a subscriber, which I want to take a second just to talk about, at least for this class. So the reason that people say at the end of their YouTube videos, they want you to like, comment, and subscribe, for most of them, it's because they're making their money off of YouTube. YouTube makes money if you watch their videos. They make money off the ads. But people that are creating smaller videos, less viewed videos like these are, we're not going to make any money off those ads. So when we're telling people to like, comment, and subscribe, it's not because we're trying to make money. It's because the students will actually, Jake, you guys will actually get to see that feedback and get to see what comments people leave. We keep track of how many likes there have been for the year and how many new subscribers and what comments. So it's less about us trying to make money off of the viewer, and it's a lot more about us being able to see that viewer's feedback. So when we do have an upcoming podcast, we will post a video on the YouTube that people that are subscribers will see, and we'll tell them this guest is coming up. What is the question that you would like to ask them? So we'll have a video before every podcast that'll say, hey, so-and-so's coming in next week. Do you have any questions for them? And that would be a great place for people to leave their comments and questions. So.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, we keep track of everything. It's great to see the numbers go up with likes and views, and to know people are watching your content, and enjoying it is a pretty cool feeling. Like, we made the vlog last week. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But just to be able to see the feedback from it and get some more people with some eyes in on the digital media and graphics.
And we do have a competition every year. Well, it was more of a competition last year. This year it's just a goal. Once the class reaches so many views on YouTube or so many subscribers, we'll have a fun kind of party day for the students. So they kind of would like for people to be able to see more views so that they'd be able to have that fun day too. So.
Yeah, no doubt. That'd be a good break from everything,
Yeah.
right? Sit down, chill out, maybe watch Transformers or something.
There we go. Yes.
But question 7 has kind of been removed from this one. Usually we're going to go to pertain to the viewer, but you already know most about Mr. Diaz. So right now it's fundraising time. Double Good Popcorn. It went live last night at 5 p.m., goes till Thursday at 5 p.m., and it's fundraising time. The more money we make from popcorn, the more money we can spend on equipment and different things for the students. That's for every class in the LACC. And just take a minute to kind of talk about that.
Yeah, so the popcorn fundraiser went up last night, Sunday night, Sunday the 17th, and it runs through this Wednesday. So if you are viewing this video, if you're viewing it on someone's Facebook page, which I will probably post it on mine here in a little bit, go on that link that they've had on their page and check in and get some popcorn from them. I think we'll try to put a link in the description of this video for the popcorn too. I'll try to put a different one for each student. But yeah, support the students, support the class, buy some popcorn. We bought popcorn. I think we bought popcorn every year. Popcorn's good. It's not bad. Like, it's not garbage. It's good popcorn. Tastes good. There's one that's spicy. I can't remember the flavor, but I like spicy popcorn. So I've enjoyed it every year that we've bought it. So
I haven't heard any bad things about the popcorn. I've heard it's pretty good. So I think you should try it out for yourselves. Go buy some and just help out the students and get some good popcorn. I think.
You never know with fundraising stuff. Sometimes the product is like, but this is good popcorn.
Back in the cookie dough days where you had to
Yeah.
deliver it within about a half hour before it gets unthawed. And
Yeah. The other nice thing about this this fundraiser is that if you can watch this video, you can support the class by buying popcorn wherever you live. So I have family in Colorado and Boston and stuff like that. So, if you happen to live on the other side of the country, then you can still help the class.
That's
You
right.
can still buy some popcorn.
it goes worldwide, I believe, is what Mrs. Johansson said. So
Nice.
even if you're watching wherever,
Yeah.
go ahead and go down below and get some popcorn. But so now it's time for the sock puppet. This has been a staple for the channel here, and so what's the
I gotta
name?
do a couple little last things to him. I feel like he needs. So he's got kind of. I gave him red eyebrows, so I figure he needs red hair, right? So I'm gonna give him some red hair here on the sides. And then we're going to give him a little bit of a kind of comb over. So, okay, so let's name this guy. His name can be Carl. He's Carl the sock puppet. And Carl's life advice will be, let me see. I gotta think of a Carl name, or Carl voice. Yes, okay, I got it. Yes, so my life advice is that you should never give up, never surrender, always keep going, and you'll make the best of your life if you just never, ever, ever give up. So, Carl out.
Wow, I mean, see, I
That was a thing.
I can just see the sock puppet. I can't physically see him, so I'm seeing the sock puppet talk about very valuable advice, but it's coming from a sock puppet, and man, that's what's good.
I
Is
really
it's
kind of
unique
want to
and
see these for other people. I want to see what other people come up. I need to we need to do a better job making sure that the hot glue gun is plugged in and stuff. So, because I didn't have it for this one, but Carl's still there, so he's a good guy.
Carl's advice will go down forever.
Yes.
And well, I think that's about all we got. So I'm Jake Green, Mr. Diaz on the other side of the table from me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, buy popcorn, and coming soon we'll have another podcast here coming for you. So thank you guys again, and we'll see you.
Thanks.